As you can see in the title of today's video, first contest in over a decade. Yes, over a decade. I've been riding bikes that long that I haven't rode a contest in 10 years. Is that crazy? Last contest before this, what we're going to show you today, 2013 Ramp Riders Buck Nutty, St. Louis, Missouri. Before we get to that, we're going to go back in time, give you a little history lesson on myself. We're going to go all the way back to my first pro contest, which also happened to be my first plane ride. First time out of the country. Pretty wild experience at 16 years old. Flying into London, England. Contest was in Derby, England for the Backyard Jam. That was 2004. That's a heck of a long time ago. So let's go back in time. England, first pro contest. A couple of tricks that I was able to get done in qualifying. Actually, qualifying went very well. First finals of my first pro contest. You know, that was huge to 16-year-old me. And I'll play the clips here and then quick discussion and then we'll move on. The two highlights that I have from qualifying that I have on video, really, they're what I really don't, I guess I don't remember much because this has been 20 years ago, so thank gosh there was videos. Was a 540 Hurricane on a sub box, but it was kind of like they were calling it a shed because it wasn't a normal sub. You know, sub would be like this. It was, you know, had an angled top, so it could be forgiving and you could use it as a wall slap in a sense, or a tire slap. And then also a big one for me back then was 360 tail whip to manual 180. And this was not a small spine. If I had to guess, this was a 5.5 or 6 foot tall street spine. What I would consider a man spine. It was amazingly built. It was perfect as street spines get. Now when it came to finals, first pro contest, riding with all the dudes that looking up to in videos, it was pretty nerve-wracking from what I could remember. As you can guess, finals did not go well. I know I landed some stuff. All I really have are some clips of some crashes. That same 540 Hurricane on that sub box just came off a little wonky, ran into a bunch of stuff on the side, people, bikes. I did, in the clips here, you can see 3-whip tail tap on a spine. Good trick for 16-year-old me back in 2004. And then the next clip would be attempting 3-whip manual 180, tagged a little bit on the top of the spine, straight to my head. Crap happens. What do you do? The other things that I do remember, they had it wasn't a box jump, but it was two like little lips that you could jump as a box jump. I definitely tried to 7 that, didn't work. And I definitely tried to 7 the spine, also didn't work. But at the end of the day, you know, I got to travel out of the country to ride kids' bikes while in high school. That was huge for me. You know, coming from a family that, you know, did not have the means to send me to this stuff. You know, huge thanks to Standard for, you know, facilitating that whole thing for me. Moving on the timeline, moving to 2005 now. If I had to guess, this was probably my second big pro contest. These were the Toronto Metro Jams, and these were also a large contest back in the day. So it was a big deal to be able to go to this once again around all the big name dudes. And at this time, I am just, you know, in a sense, the little guy. So trying to, you know, keep your nerves in check while watching serious stuff go down and be able to put stuff together, it was a big deal for me. And this contest, it didn't go well in a sense of qualifying, but I was able to do some really good stuff. The only 2 clips to show you here, which I'm going to show you just right now, and then I'll be back to tell you about it. First clip, I believe it's a 6 or 7 foot quarter. One of my better tricks back then was I could invert rather well. It wasn't a good invert unless the tire hit your shoulder. You know, there was, you know, periods of time where I had a scab on my shoulder just from the tire buzzing it. So first clip is a solid invert, if I might add. You know, maybe I'm tooting my own horn, but that is an invert. The second clip that I'm going to show you here is actually a first. It was the first 720 Hurricane done in contest. I had obviously done one prior at home, but 720 Hurricane contest, I was able to do it in practice and in the contest. So that was huge for me. You know, that was one of the 2 BMX firsts that I had. So that's like, it's one of the things that I've held on to, pretty proud about that. And the other one that I have was also done in a contest. I do not have video of it. I know it's out there. I know it was in a video called Coming Through, and it was filmed by Miles Rogish. It was at a Burley Jam in Burlington, Iowa, my local park. And the trick was whip, catch, whip. I really wish I could find footage of that. If somehow somebody sees that or has it, send it to me, please. At the time, I believe it was Matt Sparks was doing the windshield wiper, which was tail whip and then kick it back the other direction. I could not figure those out at the time. So, well, what do? You just do a tail whip, catch it, and do another tail whip. So that was my mindset behind that one. Fast forwarding a few years, this was 2008. This was the Toronto Jam, not a Toronto Metro Jam. The Metro Jams had stopped by then. This was a whole nother affiliation of Toronto Jams. The ramps were pretty haggard. Some were new, some were obviously been sitting outside for, you know, some time. The video quality of these clips, very poor. These were just grabbed off of somebody's YouTube that I was able to find. Just a couple of the clips were double whip to tail tap on a quarter, straight double whip on a spine. That's a one I'm pretty proud about. That's a big one. And then just a run in the contest. You know, I can't really remember everything that I did. You'll see here. And yes, then we're gonna move right along after that. We're moving on. I actually, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I rode my first contest in 10 years. I wasn't sure, so I just went and checked. It was 13 years ago. So we're moving from 2008 Toronto Jam to now 2010 St. Louis, Missouri's Buck Nutty Jam. What I remember from this contest, did not make finals. What do? You know, it wasn't my best day, I guess. But I came out swinging for best trick. So at best trick, during this day, I hammered out one that I had only done on Resi's back at Woodward, and which is a 360 triple tail whip. To be honest with you, it's the only one I've ever done because I don't ride big box jumps very often. And St. Louis happens to have a large box jump. It's a little skinny for my liking, but it's a real jump. So you know, plenty of hang time. So right here, I'll play it a couple times for you, slow-mo it. You know, this is one of my pride and joy tricks. So, you know, here it is. Hope you enjoyed it. Now we are to present day. This contest was actually in 2023. You know, it's been 8 months ago or so. All the clips were filmed just from the sideline on an iPhone that my wife got while I was riding. And I wasn't sure what to do with these, so I kind of just held on to them. At this point, I had probably been back on my bike for 4 or 5 months solid of riding again. I hadn't been riding for multiple years. I was a little rusty, really overweight. You know, what do? You know, 50 pounds heavier than what I would like to have been. It was a jam format. You know how I like these jam format contests. It wasn't a big contest, but you know, you take a win when you get a win. Got me some cash. And, you know, I did some stuff that I was pretty stoked on. First 360 double whip in 10 years, you know, maybe not 10 years, that's a little. First 360 double whip in 5 or 6 years. Slipped the pedal, but hey, I'll take it. A couple other good tricks. Just show you that real quick. The last trick that I showed you, I slow-moed it a little bit for you, but was the 360 whip tap on the spine. Mid-trick, I would have put money that I was not going to land on the deck. I was going to slip down and have to jump off. Somehow stuck the tire right on the coping, so it just looked like a 3-whip tap, but foo-fanoo on the other side of the spine. But regardless, super stoked on that day. Super stoked to to win something. It's been a long time since I've won anything on a BMX bike. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of the history lesson of my contest riding starting in 2004, first pro contest. We are now in 2024. It's 2 decades of, I don't want to call myself a pro rider, but I was once told by, what I would consider a legend. Once a pro, always a pro. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm still a pro rider, guys. Well, sort of. Depends on who you ask, I guess. But regardless, hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Peace out, everybody. Oh, hey, don't forget, ride bikes, have fun. Now, peace.